My approach to form, it's in a way very simple. I develop a form and work on it, work with it for a long time. I have been asked if that's not boring, but I think it's the opposite. The more I do it, the more freedom I have. To me, becoming familiar with the forms allows for exploration in other areas, like surface treatment or the marks I make, or even the ideas behind the work. There's always the question that if there's any gender implications in the forms I make, and there are none really. I think there are two forms that are constantly on my mind that definitely have had an influence on the formal qualities of my work. One being the Korean moonjar. I've always thought there's something peaceful about them, and that's a quality I want for my work, a sense of balance and simplicity. The other one is much more simple and common for me. It's something that has been present in the household all throughout my life, and that it's inherent to my origin and culture. It's the Mexican bean pot, that round, beautiful, functional object, sometimes with decorations, sometimes just showing the raw clay. It has been part of my life since I have memory, and to me, it speaks of tradition and family values. I've made these objects so many times that it's become second nature. Most of those times failures, of course, but that's how I learn. Sometimes I am much more attracted to the process than the end result. But when the two come together, when I can let go and just become one with the clay as I'm pushing and pulling, and then that follows with the marks and throughout the firing process, the end result can be quite beautiful. At least for me, it can. When I start working, it's about being in the right mental space. To me, centering large amounts of clay, it's about being centered yourself, if that makes any sense. The rest is just muscle memory. Like the moon jars, I build these vessels by throwing separate sections and then joining them together. I don't really measure. I know the rough amounts of clay I need per section. My throwing motions are the same I would use for small objects. You know, the way I open and enter the clay to throw a cylinder, the way I pull the walls of a bowl or close the neck of a bottle. It's the same. I'm doing this exact same thing, only adapted to larger forms. The torch is fundamental for my process. There's a need for me to start and finish a piece on the same day, I have tried to wait and I lose rhythm. If I throw the sections and leave them to reach the right consistency for the next day, 9.5 out of 10 times I'm gonna mess it up and I'm just gonna have to start all over. I am definitely not trying to reach a certain height or width. The amount of clay I use per section will render itself to roughly equal dimensions. What I'm looking for at this moment is a nice continuous curve from the base up. I throw a narrow base to give the vessels a sense of a standing figure. I am not trying to portray human qualities on the work. If anything, once the lids are in place, they remind me of toys I used to have and play with as a kid. I am sure the work shown in this film will not be part of my final exhibition, and that's just because I have made my mind that these are all prototypes for me. I am still experimenting and learning this form. The process will be the same, the ideas will be the same. Hopefully the show will be strong, cohesive, and will provoke thoughts and feelings on whoever gets to see it. Really, this body of work, it's about form, shape, balance, time, and connection. Each one comes to exist after a learning experience of what came before. And the ones after will have this history of the one I'm making right now. That's how I see life. Events that can be tracked, conversations, places, and people that can be remembered. Good and bad decisions, and all together have put me where I am today and will lead me through whatever's coming for me.